let's hear from some of them. Let's start with Coach Kellogg, and he talks in this first clip just about the fast and furious nature of the transfer portal and how quickly you've got to bring in a large number of players in a short amount of time.
Did it in about 18 days, so it just depends on which way you look at it. But we did bring in 11 players, I think, in an 18-day period, and signed 10 of them. So it was hot and heavy. That was a little hectic, a little stressful, in certain situations. But really liked the group we had. We set out to with some goals, I guess, in mind, and obviously these players we felt really comfortable with, and in the recruiting process, and then throughout the summer so far, we're about to finish our 4th week. They've kind of lived up to everything that we thought they would.
So that's a pretty good start, right? Just that last line, they've lived up to everything that we thought they would be. That's good. You don't want those kids to come in and you're like, uh-oh. They haven't had any of that. They've been pretty pleased about what they think they signed versus now what they've actually signed. He also talks, I thought this was interesting too, Greg, as you've had the success that he has had since he's arrived, and it's really been a lot of success, and it's been right from the beginning. You just said it. The expectations are raised because of how good they have been in his first couple of seasons. So what's that mean, and how's that translate now into recruits when they're out on the road recruiting to this program?
I've said is I think we're checking all the boxes now from a recruiting standpoint, what they're looking for. Oh, I want to play in a winning program. Great. Check, right? I want to play in front of fans. Check. I want to be coached. Check. I want to have, do you produce pros? Oh, yeah, Jordan Harrison and J.J. Quinterly were playing in the WNBA. Check. So I just think we're now checking all of the boxes, where before maybe we were checking most of the boxes, but now we're kind of checking the vast majority.
And it's interesting, too, when you do the pros box and you check those two, that's two of the smaller players, not only just in your program, but in the league. That shows you how good this system has been for showcasing it and what you can do from the backcourt. Now, as you start to get some of that size that comes with that, now you can really take off. But I think that's pretty impressive that you're throwing out. Those aren't players just getting drafted because they're the biggest on the floor. They're getting drafted from skill and development, how they developed here in this program.
I think that's why you can really recruit to the guard area in this program, because you have that. Just sort of like in baseball, you go to the D2 pitchers and say, look what we did.
Sure.
Well, now, okay, look what we did with small guards. Now, if you can add some length to that and also get them to an extreme level.
Now you're cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's important. Again, you go back to last year, the final game, Kentucky. Boy, would they have length of
all over.
Oh, yeah. And they were really good. And West Virginia was right there with the Wildcats, but that was a difference maker for that club. And so that's sort of the next area I think West Virginia probably needs.
Well, you always in basketball, right? Bigger, faster, stronger. You want to get, and I guess that's any sport. You're trying to get bigger, faster, stronger at every position. And I think West Virginia has done that. And, Kai told us this the other night, that the system attracts you as a player. The way they play and the up and down nature and the in-your-face defense, and some of the girls echoed that last night. Here's Mark talking again. We mentioned it earlier. We're going to get into this coming up here in just a few minutes about this 5th year of eligibility that has been voted upon here, where players are going to have 5 years to play 5. How will Mark approach that with his roster?
I know it's conversations we're already having. Had one of them yesterday with one of our seniors that we'll be able to use the 5th year. So I think we have 6 seniors, 3 of which could use the 5th year if they chose. So we need. Again, they may not know right now really what they're going to do, but if they do, that would certainly help. Because, we're in the middle of the summer, which is prime recruiting for the 2027 high school graduates. I think for them, and I have a daughter who's in that class, like that changes significantly in the amount of opportunities. It will feel just like the COVID year all over again. When those kids late got the year back, it's about the same time where we got that decision that says, they get the extra year. So, the portal will be hopping again. Our numbers came down a little bit this year from the year before, and now they're just about to go right back up. So, there's strategy to it. It's something we talked about as soon as we heard officially that it was going to come, but it was all trending that it was going to pass anyway.
Right. It was trending that it was going to pass. I think the coaches have been preparing as much as you can, but it does create some potential logjam. That's why I was talking about that extra COVID year, because as you just said, you've got a couple kids there that if you want to keep them, if they want to return, well, that's 3 spots that you're going to take away potentially from some of the high school kids you're trying to recruit right now. And that's happening at schools all over the country. So there is a little bit of what's happening. Add to that mix, and it's more on the men's side necessarily than the women's, all the lawsuits that are coming down the pike here on the men's side. If that gets ruled in the favor of those players trying to get a year back, now that floods the market with an additional X number of guys that are also looking for spots. So there is some roster management tweaks that are going to go on when rules like this drop in.
Absolutely. And it is going to be really interesting to see how much it impacts traditional recruiting, right? Because as you said, I mean, if you're allowing a larger pool of players to remain within the system, well, then your pool of recruits that can fill in becomes shallower.
Sure.
So, I mean, it only makes sense. And Mark mentioned, we'll go over the list a little bit for other sports in a second, but Mark mentioned the 6 players on his team that are going to be seniors this year, but 3 of those, and one of those we talked to in Kaela, and I talked to her. She admitted, yeah, she'll think about it.
Sure.
Very much think about it. Skylar Forbes, another really good player, also will have an additional year of eligibility, and Kennedy Harris, the point guard we just spoke of. Those 3 all could come back not only this coming season, but the following season. Again, they'll have collegiate eligibility. In today's world, that doesn't necessarily mean WVU, but
sure.
You're here. You'd rather have them here and try to retain them rather than not have them at all.
Yeah, because as we talk, those are 3 what we think will be primary pieces to this program. So if that comes out and plays to fruition and they achieve what you think they can achieve, and the team does, that might be 3 that it's a heck of a starting point, right, as you start to move forward in your roster construction. All right, speaking of that, here's the last one from Coach Kellogg. He talks a little bit about the roster makeup and what it looks like for this season.
It's different than anything we've had since we've been here. So, I mean, we're longer across the board, athletic, just they can get in and out of screens. They can score multiple ways. Forbes wasn't here today. Skylar, who can, pick, pop, put it on the floor, is a tremendous player. But you saw some of the versatility of the post play. And, we can play guards because I think we just have bigger wings now, too, that could slide over and be like a 4, for us and stretch the floor. So, again, that's just the versatility. I think that's what I think we rebounded at a high rate. We had a couple possessions the other day in practice where I think we had 3 straight possessions with a block shot. I'm like, I hadn't seen that a whole lot since we didn't block a ton of shots so far in my 3 years. So I think we'll see a little bit more of, some rim protection as well.
Yeah, I think the key word there's just the versatility, right? That's what coaches want in any sport, the ability to move people in different positions, to run your sets without having almost positionless basketball is what you're looking for, right? It's gone that way on both the men's and the women's side. All right, let's hear from a couple players. Just a quick cut here from Gia Cook. She's the one that we talked about, such a talented scorer defensively as well. She returns and will obviously be the heartbeat of this women's team. She talked a little bit about the support and about winning the Big 12 championship in the tournament last year.
Oh, it means everything. Y'all should have saw my videos. Like I was crazy on Instagram, but no, that was a so unreal moment just for my journey and things like that. It was definitely hard for me. So just to come here and kind of find a home and win a Big 12 championship, that was amazing for me. It meant a lot, and I want to run it back. So we're going double back. Come on.
Double back. She's great in front of the mic, although we got to work with her. She's got to give her Instagram handle out there when she talks about, you got to check me out on Instagram. Got to give the handle there so we can find it. One more from one of the players, and we'll talk a lot about this player, multi-time player of the year in the state of West Virginia, Alexis Bordas. We had her on this show. She was a pleasure to talk to. She had such a great freshman season at Duquesne. She transferred into West Virginia. What is she thinking about this year, and how special is it for her putting on that jersey, being a West Virginia native?
It's been super fun already, just all the fan support. Last night we had an event, and just seeing all the fans and how it's June and everyone's already so excited and just rallies around this team. So I know it's extra special being from West Virginia, and I'm sure lots of little girls will look up to me and hope to be playing here one day. So it's great to be a role model for them too.
Who did you look up to when you were a kid?
Honestly, like Chase Harler's from Wheeling, so came to a lot of his games. Javon Carter, my brother, loved him, so we watched a lot more of the men back then. But Kaiser Gondrzik, she was someone that I always watched.
There we go. Good job.
She knows her Mountaineer stuff.
Gave a Chase shout out too. That was good.
I mean, she goes generations of WVU alums in her background, so she knows. She's been to plenty of football and basketball games over time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her take the floor. Obviously, her shooting prowess could help this team, as she was one of the best 3-point shooters in the country